It's 1:30 already, sir.
Good afternoon, Elin, Pak
Good
Jati.
afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, Pak Farid. Ya,
We
Ellen.
are waiting for one more referee, ya. Let's wait a bit. I think it should be Pak Adit, maybe. Let me check. Yeah, Pak Adit. Let's wait. Maybe Pak Adit is still busy.
Yes.
Halo Pak Farid, Pak Jati.
Halo Pak Adit, good afternoon. Ya Pak Jati, okay.
Shall we start, sir?
Okay, wait. I will open first, Ellen. So good. Let me. Yeah, recording already started, Ellen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Already
So
started.
good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Especially for Pak Adit and Pak Jati, for your time for today's final presentation from Ellen. Yeah, Ellen is doing her capstone project under my supervision. Her topic is about experimental investigation of compression properties and behavior of pre-folded thin-walled column fabricated by 3D printing. Okay, Ellen, your time for presentation is 15 to 20 minutes. Then after that, we'll have a question and answer. And we will end by 2:15. Okay, you may start now.
So good. First, my name is Ellen Rahmawati. Today, I want to present my final year project entitled Experimental Investigation of Compression Properties and Behavior of Pre-Folded Thin-Walled Column Fabricated by 3D Printing. And my final year project is supervised by Mr. Farid Triawan. So I'd like to give you a brief outline of my presentation. This presentation is consists of introduction, problem definition, objective, specimen preparation, experimental procedure, result and discussion, and then the last is conclusion and future works. And conventional straight column have been studied and used in many engineering applications for many years because of their excellent mechanical properties, high manufacturability, and low cost. Thin-walled columns are used for structural application, such as in buildings, bridge, cars, aircraft, and ships. And in real life, thin-walled columns often deal with compression. Under compressive load, the thin wall structure will behave as described in this curve. This is a cycle of load displacement curve of a circular hexagonal thin-walled column. There are some interesting things from this graph. There is always peak stress of the first highest stress, and then the load will drop significantly. The load after peak stress, then called mean crushing force or plateau stress. For energy absorption devices, an excellent thin-walled structure subjected to the peak force is low and mean crushing force is high. It means that the the specimen have large plastic deformation to absorb the kinetic energy. But in fact, many thin-walled structures have little or no significant plastic deformation. For this reason, several research has been reported to improve the mechanical properties and behavior of thin-walled structure. Many studies have been done to mechanical properties of thin-walled column. And one approach is to introduce the uncircular columns, and another approach is to introduce the corrugated structure and internal circumferential groove on a circular column. Recently, researchers have found that the introduction of origami pattern or pre-folded pattern into thin-walled structure can trigger specific failure modes, which in turn change the structural response and its characteristics. Collectively, this work has promising results to reduce the peak stress and while at the same time increase the mean. However, the conventional fabrication method of this all thin-walled structure is difficult to do. Meanwhile, the mechanical properties and behavior of the thin-walled structure can be optimized if the pattern can be modified with more innovative form. Therefore, 3D printing can be an option for rapid prototyping, high manufacturability, as it high utility in printing unique design with low cost. So 3D printing is a promising choice to fabricate thin-walled column to improve its mechanical properties and behavior. In the left figure, we can see that the 3D printing technology was used to print the molds to change the thin brush into the thin-walled column. This becomes complicated when one mold can only make one unique design for a thin-walled column. While there are many thin-walled column structures in the right figure, the selective laser melting or SLM 3D printer was used to print the thin-walled column made from metal powder. However, SLM 3D printers are very expensive. Meanwhile, fused diffusion modeling or FDM 3D printer is a 3D printing process where a filament of solid thermoplastic material is pushed through a heated nozzle and melting process. And this type an option to print the thin-walled column because of rapid prototyping, high manufacturability, and low cost. Usually, the thermoplastic filament that is used for FDM 3D printer is polylactic acid, or we know it PLA. So, can the folding pattern modify the mechanical properties and behavior of thin-walled column made of 3D printed PLA material? In order to address this issue, the thin-walled column are designed with a pre-folded and fashion shape to investigate the compression properties and behavior of pre-folded 3D print or of pre-folded thin-walled column fabricated by 3D printing made by PLA material. And in this study, the thin-walled column of various cross-sections are designed with a pre-folded shapes and manufactured by 3D printed PLA material. There are three section shapes that are triangular, square, and hexagonal specimen. The folding angle has 5 angle variation, and there are some parameters that is said to be fixed, which are thickness, layer height, total height, and area, cross-sectional area. And then the pre-folded thin-walled column was manufactured using any cubic mega S 3D printer. And this table lists the printing parameter used for fabricating the pre-folded thin-walled column. The design from SolidWorks file was converted into a supported file for 3D printer software, and it is using Ultimaker Cura 3.6.0 software. The printing filament is polylactic acid or PLA with a diameter of 1.75 millimeter. And the compression test was performed for all specimens under static loading. Partial loading was applied perpendicular on the lower, and the resource 313 universal testing machine was used for compression test. This test was conducted under static loading so that the control rate that is used is 1 millimeter per minute per compression test, and the machine will stop when the specimen fracture. During the test, the lower and upper jig are greased to avoid the movement of the specimen, and it will be utilized as the supporting tools for the data acquisition system. And then the load displacement data from compression test, then processed to obtain the stress strain curve as shown in this figure. In order to get the value of normal stress, the compression load that has been applied to the specimen is divided by the initial cross-sectional area or the head top of the specimen. Meanwhile, strain is defined as the deformation and the total height of the specimen is the initial length of the specimen. From stress strain curve, the value of Young's modulus, ultimate compressive strength, and strain at failure can be known. Ultimate compressive strength is the maximum load that can be held by a specimen when being compressed, and it is indicated as the maximum point in the stress strain curve. Strain at failure is the deformability that can be reached by specimen before the specimen failure. And Young's modulus is the stiffness of the material, and it can be calculated by using the slope of the stress strain curve. And in order to get the accurate value of Young's modulus, then the Young's modulus is extracted using the slope of the stress strain curve, and the value of Young's modulus is determined from the highest value of the slope curve. And then this is the stress strain curve. This stress strain curve is obtained from compression test. The purple curve is the stress strain curve of non-folded thin-walled column, while the green curve is the stress strain curve of pre-folded thin-walled column. For non-folded thin-walled column, the stress is quickly increases with the strain increasing until the compressive strength at 0.02 strain, and then significantly drop, then fracture at 0.021 strain. From here, we can say that the column is brittle material because it breaks at lower strain. However, when the pre-folded pattern is introduced, significant change is exhibited. The stress is not increasing as quickly as non-folded one. It increases slowly until it reaches the ultimate strain at 0.026 strain, and then drop significantly 0.032 strain. From these two curves, the ultimate strain is changing from 0.021 strain to 0.026 strain. And in other words, the pre-folded pattern shows a more deformation. However, the first peak of the peak or ultimate compressive strength is also decreasing from 1.34 MPa to 0.42 MPa. And the angle of 180 is the non-folded pattern. As the pre-folded pattern is introduced, we can see that the Young's modulus of a structure can be modified into a lower value. Table shows that by introducing the pre-folded pattern, it can decreasing the value of Young's modulus. And moreover, by modeling its cross also have different value of Young's modulus. In this case, the triangular has the longest Young's modulus compared to the other cross sections. It means that the triangular is more soft or flexible than the others. The value of strain at failure or deformability of all specimens are plotted in this figure. From the previous slide, we know that triangular specimen has the lowest Young's modulus, so that triangular specimen is more flexible soft than the others. In this figure, we know that triangular can deform longer than the other specimens, the other cross sections. In this figure, we know that the angle of 180 is the non-folded thin-walled column. As the pre-folded pattern is introduced, we can see that the strain at failure or deformability of a structure can be modified into a higher value. Moreover, by modifying its cross-section shapes, we can also have a value of strain at failure or deformability. In this case, hexagonal has the lowest value of deformability compared to the other cross sections. And non-folded column structure is indicated by 180 degree. As pre-folded angle introduced, the ultimate compressive strength can be modified into a lower value. This means by introducing the pre-folded pattern into thin-walled column structure, the compressive strength can be designed as needed for the application. If we compare between triangular, square, and hexagonal, apparently triangular specimen shows the lowest ultimate compressive strength compared to the square and hexagonal. As shown in the table, the value of ultimate compressive strength of the hexagonal specimen is almost twice of the value of the triangular specimen. This possible reason, the reason for this result will be discussed in the discussion part. And then this is the data for comparison value of ultimate compressive strength, strain at failure or deformability, and Young's modulus. And then in this figure, we know that by introducing the folding pattern into thin-walled column can increase deformability by 108.04%, and then can decreasing the strain by 68.70%, and then decreasing Young's modulus by 90.19%. There are two possible reasons why the folding angle and cross-section shapes can affect the compression properties and behavior. The first reason is due to the number of fold or plastic hinges. Hexagonal specimen has 126 number of plastic hinges, while triangular have only 63 number of plastic hinges, which is half of the hexagonal. In the 3D printing process, there are several things that cannot be avoided. One is increasing the thickness of the meeting point of edges. As the angle decreases, the thickness of the meeting point is increases or more thicker. This thicker structure will cause the structure to withstand more energy. Therefore, hexagonal specimen has highest value of ultimate compressive strength and Young's modulus due to the number of fold or plastic and the average thickness that is more than the other specimen, so they can withstand more stress. The average thickness of triangular is lower than the other specimen due to the number of fold or plastic hinges, so that the ultimate compressive value of triangular specimen is the lowest compared to the other. And 3D printed PLA shows brittle characteristic due to the hydrogen bonds forming between its abundant oxygens and hydrogen atoms. From this, that the non-folded and pre-folded thin-walled column shows a different failure mode, and in the non-folded pattern, the non-folded pattern collapse with random fraction shapes. Meanwhile, pre-folded pattern collapse with a similar fracture shapes. This happened because of the geometric imperfection or folding pattern that leads the thin-walled column to deform by following the folding pattern. In conclusion, this experimental result shows that by introducing the pre-folded pattern in thin-walled column can dramatically lower Young's modulus by 90 and 19%, increase its deformability by 108.04%, and at the same time lower the ultimate compressive strength by 68.72%. The effect of shape variation is directly proportional to the effect of angle variation. As the section H and angle increases, the Young's modulus and ultimate strength are increases, while the deformability is decreases. As the non-folded pattern collapse with random fracture shapes. Meanwhile, the pre-folded pattern collapse with a similar fracture shapes. I realized that more studies and research are recommended to be done to make a better view of 3D printed placement. For this reason, I would like to suggest following recommendation and future works. First is to develop finite element modeling analysis. Therefore, the effect of angle variation can be well explored. And the second is to develop a 3D printed PLA specimen mixed with other materials that have plastic deformation. Thus, the research on plastic deformation can be done using this composite specimen so that the various unique design of thin-walled column can be well explored. By having this recommendation, 3D printed PLA can be used in wider scope. And that's all from my presentation. Thank you for listening. And now, if there are any questions, I'll be glad to answer it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Just in time, 20 seconds, 20 minutes. I think you did a good practice. Okay, I think now is the time for question and answer. I will invite anyone, maybe from Pak Adit or Pak Jati, who would like to start first. Please feel free.
Okay, maybe from me.
Yes, Pak Adit, please.
Yes. Okay. Hello, Ellen.
Hello, sir.
Hi. So it's actually really well. I can see that you have prepared your presentation is really well delivered. I really like your delivery. It's really we have a good flow of delivery, which is not many students have that, which is really good. So well done. And
Thank you, sir.
okay, and this is really also interesting project as well. I can see that the way you present the results also really it relates to the problems, basically the problem statement that you mentioned in the beginning. So that's really good. That's how you deliver presentations. Okay, so I really hope that you keep it up. And if you want to improve it, that's better. But for now, you have it, which is really good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so actually, content-wise, I don't have that much of feedback. However, I'm actually, as you presenting, I looked through your thesis. Now, from the thesis, from the method, also from results, you have a lot of results and you present it really well. It's a neat report. However, my focus went to your literature review, chapter 2. So it appears to me that in chapter 2, well, it's a bit contrast. Why? Because in your results, you are actually designing the structure and then you testing it through experiment, which is really good. Now, this kind of figures is not, they're not attached to your literature review. I'm not sure why. And you 1, 2, 3, 4. You only have 4 pages of literature reviews for such a comprehensive results. It's a bit contrast to me, because again, chapter 3, I really like your chapter 3. It's really detailed. You explain everything, not unnecessarily too much, but you explain it just enough and with good amount of detail. Same goes with chapter 4. But then again, that when I saw chapter 2, it's too short and it's not exactly comparable with the rest of your chapters. Okay, so probably you might want to improve chapter 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I know even though you're doing experiments, but well, and also I'm pretty sure you have done a lot of readings, but this is not exactly what we expect from such results. I'm not sure if you have actually finished chapter 2 or have finished your thesis, or it's just a draft. I'm not sure whether you actually intend to add more, but that's my feedback for the time being for your submitted thesis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, another thing is that, again, about your thesis is the citation style. What I believe is that we agreed to use APA instead of IEEE. I think using
Oh, APA.
yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
make sure, yeah. Okay, so make sure you revise that.
Yes.
Okay, and again, I would say, well, yes, you have 40 references, which I think could be enough for experimental based thesis, but the way you give citation is not exactly supporting anything that you're doing. So you gotta be careful on that. And there's a reason why literature review chapter usually is the thickest of in the thesis usually. Yeah, and for example, like this section 2.2 to reprinting. Yes, you gather the work of the people who have done, for example, ceramics, metal, polymers, but again, there's no further explanation, or at the very least, I would expect you to include the figures on your slides like this current slide, the
Yes,
work
sir.
from people as a reference. I think that's all, Pak Farid, my comment and feedback.
Yeah, Pak Adit, I also have the same. I've talked too much to Ellen about literature review. Thank you for pointing out that again. Thank you so much. So, Ellen, you should improve that. Yeah, you should improve that. Okay, we can talk more about this, about how what you can improve. But Pak Adit, you know what? She just changed the way she tell the story last night, by the way. So I believe, Ellen, you should also improve your thesis, the way you tell the story. I mean, today's story is very smooth. So you should also be reflected in your thesis, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Therefore, Pak Adit realize it quickly. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah. Now, Pak Jati, please, Pak.
Okay, thank you, Pak Farid. Right, Ellen, I have some question for you. Can you go to your first page in your introduction?
Introduction. This one, sir.
Yeah. Okay, there, yeah. You have a figure over there, right? How do you measure the energy being absorbed by the material by using that figure?
Oh, we can calculate the energy absorption capacity of this thin walled column by calculating area below the stress strain curve.
Is that a stress strain curve?
No, but if from this load displacement data, we can convert it to stress strain curve, and then we can get the energy absorption capacity.
If you are using the stress strain curve, then what you get is the energy absorbed, not just the energy absorbed, it is the energy absorbed per what? Do you still remember?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, I'm asking about this figure, right? And then you point out to stress strain curve.
Yeah.
If you are using this figure, then the area that you get is Newton meter, right? Newton meter is
Yeah.
the energy in joule. Okay, and then if you are using a stress strain curve, are you getting the same units?
No, actually we have to convert it to the stress strain curve first, and then we can get the energy absorption capacity from the stress strain curve. The area.
What do you mean by energy absorption capacity?
Energy absorption capacity is the energy to absorb the kinetic energy from the collision, for example, sir.
So what's the unit of that energy absorption capacity?
What sir?
What is the unit? You are mentioning
unit,
energy.
The unit
what?
is.
You are looking at stress strain curve, right?
Yes.
So what's the unit? If you get the area over the stress strain curve, what is the unit?
The unit is stress in MPa, and then the strain is in millimeter per millimeter. So the energy absorption capacity should be in MPa, in Pascal unit.
Pascal is a pressure or stress unit, right? So I don't get it. How do I get the energy related with the pressure, stress? I don't understand.
So if, for example, if energy absorption devices in cars, if the collision happens, then the energy absorption used to absorb the kinetic energy of collision.
Yeah, Ellen, check. You can check again your textbook of engineering component design. You will get the unit as Pascal. Yeah, correct. This Pascal, but you have to say that it is the energy absorbed per unit volume.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's specific energy absorption capacity.
Yeah, I'm glad you remember that.
Yeah, specific important. Okay.
Specific.
Okay. Can you go to the slide where you show the experiment setup?
This one, sir?
Not that one where you show the machine, the
Fabrication or compression?
Compression test machine. Maybe slide 9, I think. Okay, slide 9. Yeah, I don't doubt your results. So I mean, your result is good, and then you take a good story, getting a good conclusion. So I'm just asking some basic things in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the control rate over there is 1 millimeter per minute? The 1 millimeter per minute is the velocity of that, the upper jig, right?
Load cell.
Huh?
The load, the control rate of the load.
Okay, so the load will go down with the rate of 1 millimeter per minute, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. What if I use 1000 millimeter per minute?
So the velocity will affect the mechanical properties and behavior of the structure. And
is it the velocity that
in
affects
static problems, the response can be calculated. What, sir?
Is the one affecting the properties the velocity?
I mean, in static problem, load is constant with respect to time, while the other hand, the dynamic problem is time varying in nature because both loading and response varies with time. And
so you mean as long as it is constant, it's okay, right? Yeah, I give 1000 millimeter per minute.
Because static problem
constant
is only
velocity. I give it constant velocity.
No.
Why?
The velocity should be lower enough to neglect the effect of the load, to neglect the effect of changing velocity and what is to neglect, to avoid the dynamic problem, sir. To avoid the dynamic problem, so that the velocity of the control of the load cells should be lower. Should be low.
But your load cell can actually go faster than that.
Yes.
Or
Can.
yes, it can go faster than that.
Yes.
Yeah. So why? For what purpose is that system can go faster than that? What's the reason? I mean you are machine for a comparison test, right? This is a comparison test machine, right?
Yeah, and tensile test also.
Yeah, I mean if it is to be used to get the material properties and you want to avoid high velocity, why the machine is being equipped with such a high velocity capacity?
I don't get it, sir. Why?
Yeah.
This
Yeah, so,
this number of
yeah, the 1 millimeter per minute is you know, is limited by yourself, right? Actually, by your own study. It's not by the machine, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So let's say, so you say that because of the velocity, you want to avoid the dynamical to the material.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So can you go faster than that? I mean, like 10 millimeter per minute, or 1 millimeter is low enough, or must you go lower than that? How do you define this?
From the ISTM, it is from the ISTM standard, sir.
ISTM standard. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That almost blocking me to ask question again. When you say ISTM standard.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. I have one more question. What I get from your study is that it seems that you introduce folding into the thin wall column, yeah, so that the material becomes weaker. You want to lower the peak stress, you want to lower the ultimate stress, right?
Yes.
Ultimate strength, yeah. So why don't you just change it to a different material with different lower Young's modulus or lower you know, let's say you change it with rubber, or yeah.
So I want to know the effect of this pre-folding angle in this thin wall structure by comparing the non-folded and pre-folded one. By comparing this angle, then I know that this structure can modify the mechanical properties and behavior of the thin wall structure, sir. But if we compare to the other material, sir, we cannot compare this material to the other material, sir.
Yeah, of course you are modifying the you know, the structure for a certain purpose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the purpose, I can see that your purpose is you want to make the system to have longer deformation, right? Longer strain, which for some kind of purpose, you can change the material with a different kind of material. So my question is that what is the advantage of this approach rather than just changing the material, or maybe you go to the chemical lab and then make a new material? Yep.
The advantage of this approach, wait, sir. One of the advantage of this approach is to make the fracture. If we see the fracture shapes in non-folded shapes, we know that the non-folded shapes collapse with random fracture shapes. It will make the thin wall column bricks. It will make the thin wall column unstable when it is being compressed, while the pre-folded little more stable compared
Okay,
with
yeah.
this non-folded.
Yeah, what I mean is that
And
what if I go to a chemical lab and then I bring you a material with the same square shape, hexagonal shape without folding, and then I can give you the same properties. Why I should choose your approach?
because we modify the mechanical properties as we want for some applications, sir. If we want to use if we want to use lower Young's modulus, we can use triangular with 140 degree. And if we want to use specimen with high ultimate strength, we can use hexagonal. And yes, sir.
Yeah. I still don't get the answer. Yeah, I believe there is a reason why this approach is being taken, and I think Pak Farid knows it better than me. Why we need to study this? Why don't we just go to a chemical lab and do a molecular study, make a new material? Yeah.
Ellen, you should answer Pak Jati. It's already in your slides in the beginning. Why you choose this? Ellen, you should be able to answer Pak Jati's questions because it is already in your slide, the answer. In the beginning, why you do this research? What is the urgency?
Oh, I thought that Mr. Jati asked a different question, sir. So so the fabrication process of this thin wall column is difficult to do of they are made from metal material, usually from brass, aluminum, or steel, sir. And then I come up with this approach is because it has this advantage, sir.
Yeah, not only that, Ellen, you should mention that the pre-folded, you said that recently many researchers are putting more attention to pre-folded to origami because what? Because they can give what?
They can improve its mechanical properties by lowering the peak force, and while at the same time increasing its mean crushing force.
Yeah. So the novel behavior is expected. The new behavior is expected. You should mention to Pak Jati the fracture modes. Didn't you say that the fracture modes? Can you explain to Pak Jati what you expect from origami or pre-folded structure about the fracture, the failure mode?
Yeah, the pre-folded thin wall column was designed to to make a special, for example, in circular columns, we can get diamond shape, diamond failure modes. And then for the square thin wall column, we can get the asymmetric failure mode, sir. Each shapes different fracture modes. At the end, I want to show that my pre-folding angle shows a similar pattern of fracture shapes, sir.
Yeah,
While the non-folded,
you should say you can design the failure mode.
yeah.
Okay, by the pre-folded. That is why Pak Adit did not get the idea of your thesis. Those kind of explanations should be put in the literature review. Why or pre-folded? Yeah, Pak Jati can just tell you why not you why you should do this complicated shape while an engineer can just come up with a different material and shows a similar behavior. Yeah, so they are that very unique characteristic of the pre-folded, because what? Because again you can design.
Design the failure shape, fracture
Yeah,
shapes.
the
Failure
deformation
modes.
shape, the failure modes. Okay,
Failure modes.
so I want you to really emphasize that. Okay, emphasize that in your thesis, in your paper, Ellen, because that is why we are doing this. You did this experiment a lot because you want to prove failure mode can be controlled. Therefore, what? Therefore, you can select what strength is necessary, what Young's modulus is produced. Okay, even though at this time, fortunately, it cannot proceed until the plateau stress.
Yes.
Okay. Pak Jati, do you have any more questions? Thank you for the good question, Pak Jati.
No, Pak. Yeah, I can ask this kind of question because yeah, we work together with Gerald's paper, right? Yeah, so I can ask something like this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no more question, Pak Farid, Ellen.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, Pak Adit, do you have any additional comment for Ellen?
No, but that's enough.
Okay, yeah. So Ellen, your homework is more to the why the urgency. You should, the way you present today is good as what I asked you to do, yeah. But it is unfortunately not reflected in your thesis yet. And the input from Pak Adit, the input from Pak Jati tells, shows that you haven't give enough strong reason why we do this. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
please take strong notes, take important notes of what you have obtained, comments from Pak Adit and Pak Jati. Improve your thesis, yeah,
Yes.
with a good story, with a good literature review. Okay, make it a very good book of you, yeah. Okay, and then you can then make the shorter version as your paper. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have 1 week to do that. After revising, you should then contact Pak Jati and Pak Adit to get another approval from them with the revision. Okay.
Yes,
Also regarding the templates, I also saw about that. I haven't had time to check that. Thank you, Pak Adit, for noticing that the templates, the reference, the citation style. Yeah. Please check it again. Check. Yeah. And
Yes.
also please check the plagiarism, the similarity check with the Turnitin. You can ask to our library. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So 1 week you have to submit the revision. to Pak Adit, Pak Jati, and me. And
Yes,
then you
sir.
should, by that, you can, after the approval, until you get the approval, you still need to revise. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all. Already for the 50 minutes. Thank you for Pak Adit, Pak Jati for the comments and input for Ellen. Ellen, I hope that you keep this knowledge, this way of thinking, yeah, this skill, and improve in the future. Soon enough, you will be working for professional world. So we wish you a success. Okay, so I think that's it from us. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Take care. Bye bye. Congratulations.